Apex Legends, the Battle Royale from Respawn. For me, it has been a shooter experience like no other, and I want to express the reasons why it has captured my attention so fiercely when so many other shooters and Battle Royales have failed. And that is what we will explore today. Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Echoverse Unlimited Show. Episode 10. That is absolutely crazy to say. We have been through 10 wild weeks of different philosophical and interesting questions, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have created it. It's been definitely a learning experience for me, learning how to create interesting content, and I'm looking for your guys' feedback starting from this episode. Really, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this, whether it's good, whether it's bad. I want to know what you guys think of it, and I will be taking every bit of feedback on board to try and make this show something that people truly want to listen to, whether it's in the car, face to face, like you're staring at everything I'm watching on screen, and that's why I have my little typing friend to help me out, or anything like that. But I'll be talking about more of the plans at the end of the episode. But this episode is on why Apex Legend is the shooter that captured me when so many others failed. Because I've never really been a multiplayer shooter guy. It's never really appealed to me. But Apex Legends, when I first played it with Shattered Horizons, aka Ben, um, we played together on a New Plays episode, and I haven't looked back since. We've done tournaments, we've done our best with Charlie. I've played with Alex recently. I still play it on my Twitch. It's absolutely taken my channel by storm, and it's something that I really enjoy playing, and it's something so unique that I think is really worth exploring. And for my 10th episode, I know I've done a lot of why I don't like things, so I thought it'd be really nice to sort of focus on what I do like, and Apex is the perfect place to start because I love a lot of the game. Obviously, there's things I change, but we'll explore that later on in the episode. So, without further ado, let us start with the legends of Apex. Okay, so we're going to be starting with, for me, the most important part of Apex Legends, and that is the choosing screen when you are picking your legend. And when you're looking at that, you're hoping that not each and every one is going to be exactly the same playstyle, because that gets boring really quick. And that is, I think, the biggest strength of Apex is its legends. They are so different and varied that no matter who you play, you are going to get a different game experience. If you play Revenant, who I love to main, sorry to everyone who hates him, I'm just, I just like him, he's cool. You are going to get a second life from your totem. But if you play Lifeline, you're going to be a main support. You're going to be rezzing your characters when they go down. You do not want to be the first one down, which I usually was when I played Lifeline, and that is why many people say I was not a very good healer, which I will accept the criticism. I was probably not the best person to play Lifeline, but Charlie plays Octane. You get a jump pad. You can make your team and yourself go into battles at a very high pitch rate, and that makes gameplay really fun. So that's why I think Octane is one of the most favorite. Or you can play defensive with Caustic or Watson, using their gas or their electronic traps to sort of defense out a room, and then you're protected from any threats that may come in. And if they try and come in, they're going to have an issue beating you in your own sort of area, which I think is a really cool dynamic. If you want to play defensive, you have certain legends that you pick, which will make that a lot more better for you. And if you want to play offensive, you also have several legends that are built towards being offensive legends once you get to know them. And I think that's the key thing. You're never going to be amazing at legend starting straight out. I was an awful Lifeline, and I think I got about 700 kills on her, and I still was pretty bad. I got better towards the end of my Lifeline run, but if you really stick out a legend and learn their skills, their abilities, and their ults, then you're going to be a really useful member of your team. And I think the sort of building your team based on who people pick is really important to creating a success story and getting you that win. And I really love that because each legend has something really beneficial that they bring to the party. Sure, in my opinion, there are legends that are weaker than other legends. So, for example, I would say Watson, actually, as I mentioned earlier, whilst her electric fences are good, they're not really like up to standard compared to the other legends. So I'd feel like I'd much rather play Fuse than Watson or Caustic. I feel like they bring a lot more to the table. I hope that they modify and sort of try and bring everyone to that same even level. That there is a little bit of an unbalancing issue. I also don't particularly love that they're moving towards the wall hack route. So Bloodhound, Seer, Fuse, so many different legends have access to the ability to scan different legends that it kind of makes other legends kind of inept. So Bangalore, I think her smoke used to be really cool and quite useful on a team if you wanted to get away in a quick situation. However, now it can be very easily countered by if you have a Bloodhound who just scans and then they can see you anyway. A Fuse who puts down their Ring of Fire around Bangalore Smoke, you're kind of screwed. Who else? Seer, obviously, if he just puts his ult down, you'll as well. So I feel like a movement away from that would be really strong and would benefit the game because they've released quite a lot of legends with that ability. So that's where I'm looking for the game to go with that legend wise. But I think the diversity and uniqueness of many of the legends is really a big draw for this game compared to many other battle royales. And it's something I've personally really enjoyed learning. I use a lot of different legends. I'm obviously main Revenant, but I've really enjoyed using like Pathfinder to get around with his grapple, or using the newest legend, Mad Maggie, to absolutely decimate the battlefield with her speeding up device and barrage wheel and kind of OP ability that goes through walls, but it's all part of the Apex fun, and I personally really enjoy it. But if we're talking about legends, then I guess we have to talk about how they move. So, next is why I pretty much enjoy the movement. So, movement. With Apex, it is a really important part of the game, is how you move. If you don't have that down, you are going to struggle. And I think coming to grips with the different movement mechanics in Apex is the hardest part of succeeding in the game. And I think that that's a good sort of structure, because if you're struggling with different legends and stuff, you can easily sort of adapt and learn their abilities, but the movement is where you can really step up your game. And if you are ducking, if you're moving, if you're avoiding being hit, then you're really going to be able to push your success in the game and hopefully come to a few wins. And I think different legends are really good for that. One of the things I love about Revenant is he is excellent for moving around the different battlefield structures of the game. So if you want to get out of a building, Revenant is the prime time legend for that, because he can climb so much higher than other legends, and that's his movement ability and his passive. And I really like that. Valkyrie can obviously fly and boost up into the air and get you to where you need to be. Octane has his jump pad and his speed boost, so he can run around and jump onto different areas of the map really easily. And I think if you're playing offensive, having one of these types of legends in your party is crucial. And if you do not, then you are going to be on the defensive. And if you're going in running as sort of defensive legends, so Watson, Caustic, you're going to be struggling. So you need to really vary your party depending on that. And that's why I think movement is so important in this game. And I think it is, like I said, the biggest curveball. But once you've got that down, it becomes so fun when you're diving, you're jumping, you're staying like active, you're diving, you're staying out the way of bullets. It's really fun and engaging, and it's great gameplay. And that's what I think brings people back to Apex as well as the Legends, is the gameplay is fun, it's smooth. You'll feel like a badass when you're like, you have two teams on you and you're like matrixing. How do you say it? Matrixing. You know what I mean? Keanu Reevesing. So you're diving out the way of all the different bullets, teleporting out the way. Um, and that's what's really exciting about Apex, is the movement. Each game, you're going to be required to pull off a different strategy to succeed in a fight, and that keeps it fresh in your mind and keeps you being able to improve. Because if you mess up a fight, you should be able to look at it and go, I didn't move that way. I was sort of standing there and just going with your LMG. Rampage is incredibly broken. And that's something that many games you don't do. Many times you lose and you're like, well, that was just our luck. But here you can be like, well, I didn't do that well enough, so you can improve that. I would like to do this better. And then you can set sort of goals for yourself. I did after the first tournament. I was like, I'm not moving enough. My movement is very stagnant. When I go into a game, I'm just sort of standing there and trying to shoot these people. And they're just being like, I'm missing because they're ducking and diving out the way, and then they're absolutely destroying me. And I've not to shoot my own trumpet, slowly improved that and have hopefully become a valued member of the team thanks to my ability to sort of guess movement and counter different varying strategies of movement. And that's why I really enjoy the sort of gameplay of this because it's such a unique thing. And I think Warzone and Fortnite, it's not as strong, which are the two big battle royales that I've played. Everyone sort of plays the same way, so it's very easy to counter, or it is just down to straight luck in how you see these guys first. But if you're ambushed in this game, you can counter that, and I think that's a really strong ability for why Apex is successful. But that is not to say that I don't enjoy other aspects of the game, because this is a real positive sort of piece of the Echoverse Unlimited show. So next, countering movement, or going with the movement, is the next most important part of the game, and that is its gunplay. So let's have a look. Gunplay, it's a really key part of Apex, and it's something that I've always enjoyed. The guns that are in the game vary so much in how they feel. If you're running a Havoc, it is going to feel astronomically different to if you're running an R99. And I really like that. There's different attachment and mods that you can get to the game that really change how you play. So if you get a turbocharger for your Havoc or Devotion, you are going to be decimating the battlefield a lot more without it. And I think that really makes the different sort of additions to your guns really impactful. So if you have a barrel stabilizer, a stock, it's really felt, and that is not the case in many different games. So I think Respawn should be commended for making it feel so valued. I personally always try and search for the best mods that I can find in the game, and I don't like to run a gun that does not have the acceptable mods for it. So I feel like, for example, the car SMG, I feel like at the moment I'm doing pretty well with it. I'm sort of getting kills, even if we get it right off the bat. However, it's so much stronger if you have a purple barrel stabilizer and a purple stock, which is exactly how it should feel. If you're not feeling the difference, the game developers aren't doing their bit. And I feel like if you have that barrel stabilizer or you have that stock, you're in an ultimate advantage, and I really like that. The different gun mods really make the game feels dynamic and different based on your game, and that keeps you engaged. And if you get bored of a certain gun, swap it up a little. I used to run the Spitfire, which is now the care package RIP, and the R99, I want to say RE45. Spitfire and RE45, that's the one. Unfortunately, the Spitfire went in the car package, so I was forced to completely change up my abilities. Now you will see me probably often running with a Havoc, and usually the car, because I think the car and Rampage are the best heavy weapons going. But the Havoc is another weapon that I'm overly fond on. If it has a turbocharger, you are in for an interesting game, to say the least. And I think that's, again, something really unique. As well as gunplay, you obviously have your knockdown shield, your bag, your shield, and your helmet. And I think the fact that there are so many different varieties of these make it really engaging. Again, if you have a blue shield, you're going to have to play more strategically in the end game to hopefully locate that purple or red shield that you can use to take you to the end. Otherwise, you're going to struggle a little bit. So it's about finding a team, using tactics to eliminate a team instead of just running in and gunning, because you'll probably lose because they have that more health. That last 25 hit points can really come down to life or death. And I think that makes the gameplay so engaging. Jumping around the battlefield like a crazy man with your Havoc, or using your sniper from long range to stay hidden if you're in a solo against a trio, makes the gameplay so dynamic and engaging that it's some of the best I've ever played. Definitely gunplay wise, and I really recommend trying out a bunch of different guns to see what you like, because you may be surprised. I never thought that I would like the L-Star, and yet here I am using it on many games because it's so easy and fun to use, because you're just decimating people with this energy rifle, and that's something that many game companies can't replicate. So Respawn, I commend you for that, because it's really hard to get that right. The introduction of gold weapons and armor is also a really great idea. So it's taking the normal purple abilities to the next level with an added ability onto it. So, for example, a gold shield is a purple shield, except you can use your shield cells or health packs that only usually heal a quarter of your health to heal off half of the whole thing. So you only need 2 shield cells or 2 health packs to get you to full health or shields, and that is really useful. And again, it provides something dynamic that you may not have in the game otherwise and may keep you playing. So again, the gunplay is exceptional, and if you're looking for a fun shooter that's a bit different from others, you're going to really find it here, which is why I'm such a big fan of Apex and keep playing it. In fact, I might go play now. So next is a high point of contention among the Apex and Battle Royale community, and I've spoken to a few friends and they've said they don't like Apex for this, but I personally really enjoy it, and that is the style and the music. The music is generally less confrontational because most people say it's pretty good. I really love the lobby music and the landing music. They release different packs depending on the different events, and I think that's really cool. So for me, the music is a 10 out of 10. The dialogue, the sound lines, it's all great. And it's just extra content that really goes well. You can see, so Revenant and Loba have a really funny interaction because they don't like each other. So they're constantly bickering and stuff like that when you're on a team. And I think that really adds to the game. So the fact that they do that, the sound design is really well done. With each legend that comes out, I'm like, this is cool. They all have their own different lines. Bangalore has the most by a large amount. She comments on individual guns, different things that is really unique. So I wish they did that with a few more legends, but I really like it for Bangalore and it fits because she's a weapon master. So that obviously makes sense. However, the visuals is where it becomes a little bit more controversial because many people think it blends in too much. The colors are way too eye attracting that you can't see the actual enemies on the screen. I've never had that issue, luckily, but I can totally see how it is an issue because some of the skins are really camouflaged, and that makes it very difficult to see them, and they can come out of nowhere. However, I think after a while you sort of begin to spot people. I've never, like I said, I've never had that issue, but I've been lucky enough to have pretty much a 4K monitor or TV every time I play Apex, so it's not an issue. But if you have less so, I can totally see it being a problem. But I really like the cartoonish short art style, and I think it really lends itself to the world that they're trying to create. Um, and the guns always look good. They're very evenly sorted. The ammo is very easy to pick up. So for me, the style has always been something I've enjoyed, and it's something again unique, which many other battle royales don't have. Warzone is very your standard Call of Duties, obviously because it's Call of Duty, sort of art style, which is very military esque. And it's not very unique. You see it every year. Whereas Apex, even Fortnite to a degree, I like Fortnite style a bit less. I think it's too cartoonish is you it's unique at least, and you watch it and you go, you know what, I want to play that. It's something that my eyes can look at and marvel at, and the maps are genuinely really fun to traverse thanks to the art style. There's lots of different areas. It's very unique, sort of built upon, and the maps change. So Olympus currently has a few new areas from the last map. See, King's Canyon has changed completely from how it was day one, and we have a new map in what's it called, the island map, I'm going to say. It's something. Little writer friend put it down below, but I can't remember what it is right now. But it's a good map. I don't like it as much as I like Olympus and King's Canyon. I do like it more than World's Edge. World's Edge got a bit boring after a while. I feel like the look is kind of similar all the way around. So to have the other few maps really helps elevate that, in my opinion. But the style is something I'm really, really take to, and I hope that they keep developing it, adding new maps, new guns, new legends that they can build upon in this style because it's really fun to look at and it pops out to me. And I think that's really important for keeping me personally engaged. Whereas if it's the same as everything else, I'm not going to be as sort of invested in it. But that's the style and the audio, which is both really good. So I guess that's all that's left is to say a conclusion on why I love Apex so much. If you haven't got it already, I'll conclude it for you below, and then we're going to talk about where I want to take the show in the next few episodes. Okay, so to conclude, sorry I've completely changed attire. When I filmed this last night, I checked today and the conclusion was just gone. So we're going to be redoing this. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I really appreciate all of the support over the past 10 episodes. I've really enjoyed doing it. So doing the 10 episodes, editing it, making the whole show, putting it together, that's been really fun for me and something very different to what I've been doing before. So it's offered me a process of which something new and something fresh. And I think that's really helped keep me engaged in streaming. and content creation. So I'm really looking forward to the next 10 episodes, getting your feedback. I really want you guys to have a bigger role in picking what the weekly topics are. I'm going to do like weekly questions asking what people want to see, if there's anything people want to see. And then that sort of makes the show sorry, good for you as much as it is fun for me. And I'm going to try and do more interesting things, maybe get some guests on over the next 10 episodes, and I think that'll be really fun. But yeah, we are continually getting better here in the Echoverse, I think. And that is why the next series coming up next week, so Tuesday, the trailer should already have been released. But if not, then it should be released today. Or at the end of this video, depending on what I do. But it will be in the link below, in a link below in the description, so you can check it out if you want to. And I'm really excited about that. The Adventures of Shadow Slaughter Scales is the most ambitious series that we've done yet, and is setting up a precedent for a really fun and interesting experience. So I'm really excited to see what you guys think of that. Any feedback, all feedback is really appreciated. But if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate that. And joining the Echoverse is always fun. But most importantly, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and stay noisy, and I will see you on the next video or stream. Thank you guys. Goodbye.